Okay, superb. A very, very warm welcome to everybody, and especially to Prerana Saxena, who's going to be starting off, kickstarting this entire brand new series that we have come up with. This series is a collaboration between Espousal, which is the world's first and perhaps largest online wedding expo, and Team.i, the school that teaches event management. But quickly, something a little bit about Prerana. The world knows her. She's the founder and CEO of Team Weaver Designs. She is always been passionate about themes. I've had the privilege of catching up with Prerna in Dubai a couple of months ago, and all she says is themes are all that we live in. Okay. And this is really depicted in all the events that she does. Okay. Today, she's going to be talking about the wedding industry, the evolution of weddings, and how this entire thing has come to be. Such a small idea of conducting a wedding, and today it's become so, so large. Over to you, Prerna. Thank you so much for being here with us today, and all yours.
Thank you, Arvind, for having me here. It gives me immense pleasure to learn from everyone here. And I think the first and the most important thing I always believe that we're learning every day. And I think, and the industry we are in gives us the opportunity to create and learn every day. And that's what keeps us motivated.
Requesting everybody to keep yourselves on mute, please. Thank you.
So I think that's what keeps me really excited about the industry. We never get bored. It's never monotonous. Every wedding is so different from each other.
No, I said lang.
We are always looking forward for the next and the next and next wedding. It's not a 9 to 5 job. It's not mundane, you know. And when you talk about the evolution of the wedding industry, uh, I think earlier there were no wedding planners or designers. There was someone in the family who had the aesthetics and would do the design part of it. Then there was someone like one of the mama chachas who will say ki, Acha, I will do the planning, and he will get coordinate and get other people around in the family to make sure that there is some method to madness, you know. And how we started evolving is, and when actually the culture came from West, I feel, and we always in India, I would say, follow the West, right? So the culture came from West when people saw that, there are these people who can, put everything together and the family is still enjoying. It's not such a stressful thing, and these people specialize so they can manage things in a much better way than how family members could manage. So in some time, this whole profession of wedding designing and planning came into existence. And now more and more people want to kind of go off to a destination and have 2 days of fun time and come back. Wherein, most importantly, the family members and the immediate family, including the bride and groom, also want to have fun. They don't want that, their parents and everyone's missing and only attending to guests. While I still insist that, personal attention to guests should be given by family, because that's the sense of an Indian wedding. The warmth and the hospitality is the sense of the Indian wedding. I always tell my clients that do not miss that. While the team is standing and operationally doing everything, what you can extend by just, maybe asking them, I hope you're okay. The main guest asking their guest, whatever we do will not be able to kind of match that. So while sometimes if the guests are tired, my team is at the breakfast table asking if they can get something. The hotel teams are there, but still asking to make sure that, we can fill in wherever the clients are not able to be there. But still, I still feel the immediate family has to connect with the guest in the wedding. Though the evolution has been that now they trust. I'm so sorry. Just I'll just get the power back up in a minute. So while I still feel that the guest, can totally leave the operational bit to us to handle and manage it spotlessly, so that they can relax and chill and enjoy with their guest. I'm so sorry. There's electricity miss.
No worry.
This has been the this in my head has been the evolution of the wedding planning and design and decor, which earlier was like kuch aisa bana dena, kuch aisa bana dena. Say up, it has become that it has to be on a sketch or a render. Like, there's a whole design presentation which is made from this the word map to mood boarding to sketches to renders. It's a full process which kind of comes about and is put in front of the client, so that there is no doubt that how will this look. It's not left to chance. It's and the designing is not only decor, it is every small element. How would my table cover look like? What would be the cushions? What, in case, what will be my underplate? What will come? How would my name be written on the table, on the round table? So every detail is taken care when it comes to designing, and every aspect is designed, whether it's gifting, artist, everything and everything is designed. So I would say that in a small nutshell, because we have a limited time, I would sum up the evolution like that.
Absolutely superb. Tell me, but was there a need, or where did the need really arise from in terms of मामा चाचा था, वो शादी करवा देता था बच्चों की. It was all very, very simple, right? Okay. What was the need of a wedding planner to come into the picture? And how this industry is perhaps one of the largest industries in the world, especially the Indian wedding industry, right? How did this happen, and was there a need for the same? And for the people who are listening in, please feel free to butt in and ask questions. Prerna wants this to be an interactive session. This is not a monologue that she's come with one book and she's going to read it out and go away, right? So Prerna is absolutely a superhuman being. I know her, and she'll be happy to answer any questions. But back to you, Prerna.
uh, I feel, actually, you'll be surprised, but we still ask our clients, the first question is, where do you think is the need for a wedding planner?
Wow.
So we want to understand that what is their pain point, why do they want to hire one? Because if we can crack that, we can hit it on the nail, that okay, this is what exactly they're looking at. So while I've said the need is because they cannot have, I feel they cannot have slip it. Like when the family members managing, वो किसी को बोल नहीं सकते कुछ खराब हो जाता है. you know they do not know finally whether it will be done or not. They cannot hold anyone accountable. But I also joke around it कि उन्हें कोई तो चाहिए जिसको वो बोल सके कि तुम्हारी वजह से खराब हुआ है. Right? So that's a joke, but what I mean is, they want someone who's professionally there and they can hold people accountable, that dude, this is your job. You need to, these are your deliverables and you need to deliver on this, right? Because people now want it spotless, they want it flawless, they cannot take chances. Earlier, like how it was in a corporate event, weddings are very corporatized now, at least the ones we deal in the higher segment. It's really, really corporatized, wherein they would not want uh, even one mistake, even a single slip anywhere, they will remember their entire life. Also, I feel that the stakes are very high. Like, uh, earlier they were like, acha shadi ho rahi, patake wala aa gaya. Now the flow is so minuted, guys, that like the recent wedding we did, it was like, okay, the bride came in at after 10 seconds, we had the parents joining it. Then after like after she reached the end of the pathway, there was supposed to be some pyros which was supposed to go up. Then when she gets onto the stage, there was one Varmala, one special effect, second Varmala session, again some other effect. Now, imagine someone from the family or someone who's not professional doing a second's flow, not even minute. It actually, we have a show flow which is in seconds, right? Who, I don't think anyone who's not doing it every day can manage something like that.
Right. I mean,
It's never happened, but again, we
that's
have.
this is all good news only. And we are
Yeah.
at home. So there's nothing to worry about. So I just love that show flow being in seconds for a wedding. I mean, I'm a corporate guy, you know that I do only corporate events and very few weddings. But when I hear that a wedding's got a show flow in seconds, I'm really heartened to hear that. And wedding planning has definitely come of age and is got corporatized, as you rightly name it. So fantastic, yes.
So yeah, that's where the need has come, that people want it's really detailed, and they've understood that a family member can't do it. They need a professional who's been doing this day in and day out to manage these things. And there's so many more examples, and now the wedding is not one aspect. It's not like khana hai, decor, मतलब थोड़ा बहुत फूल लगाना है. There is so much happening at one point. Suppose in a destination wedding, you would see that one setup is happening, one event is happening, the other setup is starting, the fourth is finishing. There is food buffet layouts to be managed, there's artists to be managed. There is so much happening. There is, like, you know like, we take a team of about 12 to 15 people, right? That team also that sometimes has challenges managing it after having a flowcharted backend coded system. Imagine someone other than a professional trying to do this. And also the stakes have increased because now the weddings are from corporate houses. Like it's like for them, it's doing a branding image thing. They're calling their clients, they're calling people who they want to collaborate with. So it's no, some weddings are still very family oriented, but others are also, for these big corporate houses, it is also opportunity to kind of oblige their clients sometimes. So they want to have everything larger than life and make sure that it's spotless, because it's now also somewhere associated to their brand.
Right, right. This is something which is brand new for me. And for the audience who's there, please do ask questions.
Yes, please.
Uh,
I would love to have some questions. What do you think? I would like to ask you guys, what do you think? Is there a need for a wedding planner? Do you see the need in your surroundings?
I feel, yeah. Hi, I'm Anjali. I
I
feel I feel wedding planners are required these days because many people would love to enjoy the wedding than doing work. Yes, there are few people who like perfection; they prefer doing it on their own. But many people love to enjoy, and many people, I feel, they do not have that knowledge of doing it because they do not have any support sometimes. So they would need uh, support. So because of that, they would need a event planner, a wedding planner.
It's a very good point, Anjali. A lot of families are no more joint families like earlier. They're nuclear families. And in a nuclear family setup, if your extended family is coming in, you cannot tell them anymore that acha aap ye kar lena, aap ye kar lena. While earlier, there were joint family system, and everyone used to be so close that rather अगर किसी को शादी में काम नहीं देते थे तो वो बुरा मान जाता था.
Yeah.
So there's 100% shift in how people think. And thank you for bringing that point. That's a very valid point, Anjali. Anyone else who would like to contribute to why do you think wedding planners have become so important?
Yeah, hi, ma'am. My name is Rashmita. So I've seen that in South Indian weddings, usually there's no much, involve of an event manager because the rituals also are really less. Haldi and Mehndi are something that is incorporated nowadays in South Indian weddings. So when you are doing, I also have a question. Like, usually when we do weddings, it's usually the client's idea, right? But when they come to you, you also have an idea. So how do you, you try to convince them to buy your idea, or is it that you will have to get convinced when it comes to, pitching out the ideas?
So Rashmita, I would ask you, whose wedding is it?
Their wedding, but still you are the planner, right?
Sure. So it's their wedding, and it's so in India, what happens is as soon as a girl is born, the parents start putting a vision as how she would, when she's getting married, what will happen, right? I want to ask the group, would it be just and fair to say that, whatever you thought till date, we are not going to listen to you and execute it? Or would it be right to say that, okay, let's take your vision and implement it in our style, okay? Implement it perfectly and say, let's at least take your vision, because for me, a wedding is a persona of the person who's getting married or the family. It's almost like if you create a brand ambassador in a corporate event. Like Arvind is here, so I'm trying to give some examples which will also relate to corporate events. Is if you have a brand ambassador, right? So that wedding kind of becomes like your brand ambassador, wherein you say, okay, this is how my family values are. This is what we mean by culture. This is us. Because I cannot give you a wedding which is cut, copy, paste, right? I have to incorporate you in the wedding. Then only you will enjoy, your guest will enjoy, that personalization will come. So I have to take your vision along with me and see how I can design around it. I am a planner, but I'm here to put your dream into reality. I am not there to put my dream into reality, because it's always the client who comes first. And a happy client is always the one who you have to listen to them. And of course, sometimes if you can always give suggestions if you feel this will not work. If there's a suggestion which you know that no, this is not going to, like a client wanted fireworks. I kept telling that, we encourage sustainable weddings. Please do not do fireworks. Okay. And this discussion almost, so he used to say, but I still want to do it. And for a good 2 months, this kept on going. Last, he said, my family has only one wish, and he used to call me D by the end. We met professionally, but we got very close. He said, दी मेरी हमारी फैमिली की एक ही विश है कि हम fireworks करवाए, please करने दीजिए. Okay, and it was really sweet of him to ask permission in his own wedding. But I saw in his eyes that he wants it really bad. Maybe he's grown up looking at really nice fireworks, exorbitant fireworks, and he thinks his idea of wedding is to have that fireworks there. So my thing, though I do not encourage fireworks in the situation, my thing was that, okay, let him have that. And I told him that, if the pollution control and everyone allows, then we'll go ahead. Right? So sometimes you have certain parameters in which you work, but sometimes to let someone's dream come true, because it's his wedding, you have to let go of few things that you think are right or wrong. And that's a very good question, Rashmita. I'm very, very happy with the question. Thank you so much for bringing that up, because if I were you, I would have the same doubt.
I have a question, madam.
Please, sure, Arvind. Go ahead.
मतलब see this corporate events that we do, na, you go there, it's very professional. You close a deal in 2 hours or over 2-3 days of 1 hour, 2 hours each. This weddings, to close a wedding requires a very different kind of an animal. And therefore, I am very clear about event manager vis-a-vis a wedding planner. Can you, Prerna, please help us with some special qualities that are required to be a successful wedding planner?
Patience and patience and patience. I would say that that if you're talking from the client's perspective, I think patience is the key. And if if you hear them and you're patient, the a lot of times I've heard that आपने इनका काम कैसे कर दिया, ये client तो किसी की बात नहीं मान. From that to actually getting a client to the stage like I was talking to you about, where he becomes family saying, Prerna ji, मेरे को लगता है कर लेना चाहिए. That is a transition where you have to be really patient with them. It's not about you. It's not like I was in a recent I was doing a webinar with someone, and they said that you just come across as someone very humble. So I said there is no other way than to be this in the wedding industry if you want to deal with the kind of people you want to deal with, because they think that we are this, right? We own this business, we are owners of this business, and we need attention. So you have to be just patient, hear them out, and in some way get them to agree on things that you would like to do. So it's a lot of alignment.
Patience is the key. Yes, yes, yes. Any other questions from any of the other participants? Let's have a few questions, people, and make this interactive. You won't get this chance. This is a very, very, very busy lady.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Yeah, Anjali.
Ma'am, actually, like Rashmita told, in South India, you do not have many people who encourage wedding planners. So how do you get through it if you have to do a wedding in South India? And how do you want people to change their perspective towards wedding planners in South India?
So, see, it's a process of evolution, Anjali. Okay, it's not that you cannot force yourself on someone who thinks that they don't need you. You can be thought leaders, you can talk to them, but you cannot impress yourself on anyone who thinks they don't need you, right?
Yeah.
When clients approach you, they are already in the mind frame that need you. Now, आज से 10 साल पहले शायद ये क्वेश्चन फिर भी वैलिड था, बट आज के जमाने में अगर किसी को नहीं चाहिए तो उनको नहीं चाहिए, राइट? उसमें हम ये नहीं बोल सकते कि यार तुम्हें क्यों नहीं चाहिए. आप उनको ये नहीं समझा सकते that what happens, because it's not they don't have access, they've seen it, but maybe they still have that support system, or maybe they think that they can still manage on their own. In any case, I don't think you can impress on someone who thinks that they don't need a wedding planner. You can always talk to people saying why you and why not someone else. But I don't know if you can convince someone to say that nahi tumhe wedding planner chahiye hi chahiye. Not directly. Maybe if you have you hold a conference, you do interview with people, you can put your thought on the social media, but you cannot go to someone and say, nahi, why don't you need a wedding planner? I think you should take one. That is something not someone professional can do. Maybe someone from the family. The other way you can do is, if you know the family, you should, and you know that this is going to be a biggish wedding, Rashmita, so you can go and talk to someone in the family to go and talk to them. Because if you will say that no, I think you need a wedding planner, they'll be like, acha, ye, she's just trying to sell herself. And which is, in our business, that's not a comfortable space. In our business, you should always have someone who's comfortable with you. It's like Arvind said, it's about emotions in wedding. It's not a transaction which is very very tuck and you're like, oh, you're done with it. It's not a transaction. It's an emotional chord that you strike, and you will see a lot of people in as you go through the journey will become your family. Like I say today that I have so many families across the world because uh, you whenever you reach that city and they'll come to know, they will welcome you with open arms. So that's they will always insist that you'll have to come for dinner, you have to spend some time with them. All that happens uh, in our business, and it's sometimes you get so emotional about it that and so connected with people that you totally forget that it's actually business. You just think that it is a way to connect to a lot of people in the world.
Right.
Hi, I have a question.
Sure, Nandini.
Hi, I'm Nandita.
Hi, Nandita.
Ma'am, yeah, you told the patience is very important key for a wedding planning. But not all clients are sweet enough to us. How do you handle a cranky client, or, you know, who's always, I don't want this, I don't want that?
That's why I said that. That's why I said patience, because mostly you will have to first listen to them, and then in your own way put your point across. Okay. uh, and say that this is what will help you. Show them how are you helping them. So that I call it alignment. Show them that how are you adding value to them. Whenever you think from their perspective, whenever you think how can you add value to your client, in some time they will realize, okay, this person is really genuine and this person means well. And in some time they will start listening. See, some people still are the types who will always be not very friendly. Maybe if you meet 100 clients, 20 of them will be still like that. They will still be like that. But uh, I would say don't take it to your heart, because if you meet 100 people, then some people in your everyday life also like that, right? What do? You just bless them and move ahead. That is it. So take it very positively, Nandita. One more thing I think our business teaches you is positivity, because I tell my team, what is your choice? If you're not positive, what is my choice? Can I will I get something by thinking negative? If I start thinking, अरे ये सब खराब हो जाएगा, ये भी नहीं होगा, वो भी नहीं होगा, it will not get us anywhere. So the only thing which will get us to stage 2 or ahead is basically thinking positive and always trying to add value to your client. That's it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hi, ma'am. I have a question. My question is, what would be the period that we get to plan a wedding? Like, how much time does it take for as a wedding planner to plan a perfect wedding, or as the client wants their visual?
Hi, Surbi. Depending on the scale of weddings, like, generally, if the scale of wedding is not very high, you might just get a month. And if it's a biggish kind of wedding, like we've started getting queries for next year as well. If it's an NRI wedding, then for next year Jan Feb you started getting. But generally, typically, 3 months to 6 months is what people try and close on. Though the period in COVID is shortened because people want to close a little closer to the date these days, thinking pata nahi kahin COVID na aa jaye. But otherwise, once things are back to normal, I would say 3 months to 6 months is the average time. Someone who's really particular also closes a year in advance, especially people coming from US and abroad.
Right.
Does that answer your question, Subi?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All of you asking really valid questions, which If I like I said, if I were you, I would also have these same doubts.
I have another question.
Yeah, sure, Anjali.
It's like virtual wedding. It does not give you the same feeling of the physical way of getting married with in front of many people. You just um, it, you'll be just on a screen. You do you think people are preferring virtual weddings these days, or it is going?
Not at all. It's not a corporate event, and personally, I haven't done any virtual weddings. We have telecasted the wedding to some people who couldn't come, but the bride and groom have to be there. वो फेरा कैसे लेंगे? मतलब I don't know. So I've heard of these weddings, but to be frank, I haven't experienced one, and I will never encourage it. It's so much of personalization that we deal in. A virtual wedding is like really doesn't make sense to me at all.
Yeah, I got my answer.
I know I'm very direct, so you might just be like, okay, I don't mince my words. I don't.
That's good. We get our answer fast.
Yeah, diplomatically नहीं बोलना आता ज़्यादा.
Uh,
So, a lot of these people in the crowd, Prerana ji, are students of the institute, and they're looking to make a career. They are obviously confused. They want to take up event management or corporate or sports or PR or wedding planning. So, tell us a few reasons on why they should and should not take up wedding planning as a career.
I say something very strong, and I say India's going to be a wedding economy. So would would you want to not be where the country's future lie? I know it's a strong statement, but
Very strong. And
I
Prerna
I, I
always does this. She always is very strong statements. Yeah.
so I believe that the way we are looking, and we've spoken with the tourism department, we're going to get a lot of weddings to India, and that's my passion as well. So the future, one of the revenue streams of India would be weddings, and I would not understand why anyone who's interested in this field would not want to make a career out of it.
Very nice. Very cool.
I know it is a strong statement, but I don't shy away from saying what I feel from my heart.
And I know we are on record, and I shouldn't be saying what I'm going to say next, but the money in wedding planning is immense. It's really large. And that is why all the white papers and all the fickies and all of them of the world will never be able to peg that number. What is the size of the Indian wedding industry? And there's so much of work in many symposia that both Prerna and myself have attended, where people keep asking these questions. There are a lot of arbit numbers that keep coming out. So this is huge. This industry is huge, and
Actually, we are the nexus. Sorry to interject, but we are the nexus of a lot of industries, like the hotel industry, the catering industry, the fabrication, decor industry. Photographers, choreographers. So we are the nexus on which the web is put on. So the more which is fed into us, the more revenue is gone to other industries as well. As long as I would not say my industry is only us, I would say the wedding industry is all of these people, our ecosystem together. Because the more and more people start believing in us, the more and more revenue we can generate to everyone. Rather, I say the maximum part of us are with other daily wages,
right.
which we support every day. you know there's so many laborers which are involved, चाहे वो साउंड वाला हो, चाहे वो मेकअप आर्टिस्ट के साथ आ रहा हो. There are so many daily wages that and so many houses which run on our industry, that the more and more we put in here, the more and more revenue it can generate, and more people can be benefited. I see it like that.
Right. Nandita is asking me on the chat whether I can ask another question based on logistics. Of course you can, Nandita. This is
For sure.
family. Yeah, of course you can. Ask whatever you wish.
It's an
So
interactive session, yeah, guys. Come on, it should be lively and we should chat up. Like I said, I'm here to learn from you guys.
ma'am, so I've attended 3 weddings. So I felt more than anything, logistic is where you face lot of challenges, last minute changes and everything. How do you face it, and how do you deal with it?
So for us personally, Nandita, I saw that challenge, and what we've done in COVID is that I have put a flow chart from the time the project starts, the wedding starts, to when it ends, and there is we've coded it, and there's a data manager which sits, or a controller, project controller, which sits in the control room. He's not allowed to come to the project, and he's managing every aspect of the wedding. So every doer is given a checklist, and he's supposed to report on that time if it's done or not done. Because if there is a problem, then we have another person who can go help. And if that person can't help, so we have escalations, and we have a process task list which has been given to every person, because most of the tasks in weddings don't get done because people don't know what to do. It's not that they don't want to do it. So the basis that we run is that people don't do a task because they don't know how to do it or when to do it. It's not that they don't want to do it. That's the basis of this whole procedure. And this, like the recent wedding, people kept saying कि ऐसा लगता है सब कुछ automatically हो रहा है, because आप लोग तो सब ऐसे घूम रहे होते हो, like you just a team, and we have a very small team for that kind of wedding. People take 25-30 people, we take 10 to 15 people. I don't have an extra person on site because I don't want to crowd my client's wedding. अब लोग ही 200 हैं, उसमें 25 लोग आपके चले जाएं. So the guests start feeling intimidated. They are like, हमसे ज्यादा तो ये टीम लेकर आए हैं, right? So that's how the logistics are managed, because everyone knows their task and it's on a checklist, and someone is monitoring it all the time, who's not part of the event. Because if you put someone who's part of the event in charge of all this, you've had it. That person will get drawn somewhere else and it will go for a toss.
Project manager never sits at the event or at the wedding in this case. Yeah, this is very important for everybody to understand. I have never attended an event of my own so far. It's always been like that. But over to Srinath, he has a question. Yeah, Srinath, always.
Please tell me, Sheena.
You're on mute,
Um,
Srinath. Yeah.
yeah, good evening, ma'am. So, all the misunderstanding that happens, like at the end moment, some due to decoration and some due to, like when you're saying something, they mistake it and something else happens at the event. So, in that kind of heat moment, like how do you handle the situation?
So misunderstandings happen because it's not written somewhere. जो verbal होगा, whatever is verbal will get misunderstood. Please take all your checklist, all your tasks on writing. Give it on writing. It has to be written. It can't be verbal. Please go back and analyze that whenever there has been a misunderstanding, it is because मैंने बोला था, मैंने कहा था.
Huh.
Okay, and the vendor, you cannot contradict the vendor, because if you've given it on a checklist and he's not read it, he'll easily say it's your problem, please sort it out. But if you say I said this and I said this, there's no one to validate it. Like even my team does it sometimes, and I get mad because I'm like, if it's not written, it's not done. Please take it. So if it's not now done, please face it, because you guys didn't give it in writing anyway.
I want everybody to write down actually what Prerna just said. And these are very golden words, you know. If it is not written, it is not done, right? And if it is written, it will get done. You know, for people who are learning where we come from wedding planning, stroke event management, the written word is most important. And there is no verbal communication in our business.
And
Ma'am, because what happened actually in an event, the water bottles were like out of the event that I've been to. The water bottles, the name of the water bottles were totally different. They weren't the name of the person who was getting wedded. So it caused a lot of problems. And yeah, we had to get that sorted at the
yeah,
nth moment.
so somebody approved that design, right?
Yeah,
So if you're approving a design and you're writing a wrong name of the bride and groom, how bad can that get? That person should really not be part of the wedding planning industry for sure. Because if you do not, and I'm laughing because I had a guy like that for some time, and we had to very politely let him go because we asked him before the event what's the name of the bride and groom, and he was new. He interchanged the name of the bride and the bride's mother. So we had to politely let him go because
let
if
him know.
we have any of that kind of people, they aren't made for the industry. They are made for some other industry, not us, because we don't get second chances.
Right, ma'am, right. Um, yeah, so we had to go and we had to check the entire bottles. We had to check the entire list of the curtains. So there was about 600 bottles. So we had to check each and every bottle so that the name was right. So that's what we did.
Oh, okay. You meant it was personalized bottles, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that generally you have the logo on the bottle,
Eh, yeah, ma'am, that's the one. Yeah.
the logo of the event, right?
Right. And the name on the name of the people who are getting wedded was wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't do that. You really can't do that. It would be criminal to write wrong bride and groom names. Like,
Yeah. So
I would be offended, not mad. I would be offended if somebody would do that. The dude, you don't even know which wedding are you kind of managing.
agreed, ma'am. Ma'am?
I know. While it might be overwhelming for a lot of us that this is the only industry which doesn't give us a second chance. There is no other moment that you will get, saying कि अरे आज नहीं करा तो कोई नहीं कल कर लेना. वैसा हमारे पास, we don't have that leeway. And a lot of people say कि if the wedding industry can do it, then so can we. So you will, I don't know if you know or not, I interact with cross industry people, and they said that अगर आप लोग कर सकते हैं टाइम पे काम, तो हम क्यों नहीं कर सकते. they kind of quote us as an example that शादी में कैसे हर चीज टाइम पर हो जाती है प्रेरणा जी, और ऐसा कैसे होता है कि हमारी कंपनीज में लोग हमें रोज नई डेट देते हैं. I said that's exactly what we are talking, that we don't have another day. So a lot of people who are successful in the industry are the kind of people who do not like to procrastinate. Because if you like to procrastinate, this is not the industry. You have to be really up and about on your feet.
Yeah, and it keeps you young, this industry. I've been
आज जैसे अरविंद जी, आज हमने काम करना सुबह 6 बजे चालू करा. So I did not get up from my seat, and then I was supposed to go to office, but I said, the way we were working on something, वो flow में चल रहा था. Evening 5:30, my girl who was working since 6 in the morning with me said, कि now I'm tired. I said, you still not made for the industry. तुम 12 घंटे में थक गई. She's like, ma'am, you're serious. Like, it's been 12 hours. You've not left me for a minute and you worked and I've been working with you. I said, I have still 2 hours to go. So I said, you're still getting trained. And she was just laughing. It was a joke, of course, because I did not expect her to go beyond that. But So can you imagine after 12 hours also, we have to just keep our energies going. We can't have a dull moment anytime.
I know. Uh, I like everything that you said, Prerna, including the project manager. And I mean, these are things that we do in our company or our industry, but we don't talk so much about it. To give you a quick example, right now we are doing a 25 city event. Every
Wow.
day there's an event starting today. So today is Nagpur, tomorrow's Cochin, day after is Nasik, and uh, thereafter is Indore and blah, blah. So we started work at quarter to 9 today, and we have been sitting in this Zoom room since then. And I said, hey, today's Prerna's thing also, let's finish that fast and we'll close after that. And I just got a
Oh,
message that no, we have another more than an hour or hour and a half was the work that will start at 8:30 in the night. So that is our industry, guys. Okay. And it keeps you running, it keeps you good, it keeps you fun. And most important, your communication skills improve. You're meeting so many people all the time. And you have to be very truthful in what you do. Anybody else with a question? Anybody else with a question? So good. We have had a good 50 minutes with Prerana Saxena, and she's one amazing lady. And also, Prerana, anytime you need any help from students, you want to use them for any of your events, these are quite a few of these people are here right now. They would be more than willing to travel anywhere in the world to be with you.
sure. I would, it was lovely interacting with all of them. And if we have any projects or anything coming up, wherein we need additional hands, surely I would give a consideration. We've done that with WMI also
Right,
a lot of times, that we involve the kids, because then they actually understand on ground how things happen.
right, right.
So I Sukhmani will be in touch with Ananya, and whenever and as soon, I'll let her know that if the team puts up a requirement, do get in touch with Ananya on the same, that okay, this is what we require. If anyone's up to kind of traveling for this project, you guys are more than welcome. Is there anyone in Delhi here?
No. So all of our students are primarily based in south of India.
Okay,
But we have right now people from Calcutta and from Mumbai.
nice.
Delhi in this particular, I don't think no, not from Delhi. But yeah, if we do, and then we'll train it, I say, and give it to you.
Got that. Sure. Thank you. And it was lovely interacting with everyone. I always get energized seeing young minds in the same forum as me. And that's why I love to do this. Thank
Right.
you for taking our time. And it was great having you all here.
Superb. So Prerna has kick-started this entire thing for us, and we're looking forward to doing a lot more sessions. And we will get Prerna also back someday soon, as soon as she can find the time. Very difficult, but
No, no.
not impossible.
It's a lot of travel mostly for me. But yeah. So I'll see you soon. You're coming on the 22nd to Dubai, you said, right?
Yes, madam. Yes.
That'll be lovely. That'll